Danny Flexen here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by a highly respected trainer, Mark Tibbs. Mark, how you doing?
Not bad, Danny. Yourself, you okay, mate?
I'm good. I want to ask you about 2020 and how you assess it, because for you particularly, your entire stable almost has changed. You've still got Harvey Horn, of course, but aside from that, you've had a number of departures, but a number of new arrivals as well.
Yeah, no, 2020 was, it's been difficult for everybody on the planet Earth. But it's horrible times, really, isn't it? But I feel very, very lucky and blessed that I'm still involved in boxing at a pretty, a good level, being around Billy Joe Saunders. So I'm very, very grateful for that. But I've got some good prospects coming through. I've just started a new gym in Raynham in Essex called Origin Gym, and it's my London base while I'm training prospects and up and coming fighters and champions. So it's been really, really good, and I've just left there as it happens, and so I'm going to enjoy my Christmas now a little bit, the best we can.
And the latest addition to your thriving stable is John Hedges, of course. How did that come about?
John Hedges. Well, Sam Jones called me a few months back and asked would I have a look at him, and I said, well, I went to Spain with Billy Joe at the time, so I said, listen, tell him I'll have a look at him, but when I get back from Fuerteventura, and then that's what happened. He come up the gym he come and see me on a Monday, and I was a little bit sceptical, being 18, a bit young, but he was tall, he was rangy, and he's got a good, clever boxing brain. I could see that on the first day we'd done something. On the Wednesday we had another session, and on the Friday I chucked him in with Louis Edmondson. You know Louis Edmondson, and he really, really impressed me, to tell the truth. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't want to crowd myself. I explained to him and his dad and his management, Sam Jones, that I'm going to be busy with Billy Joe, and I've got a fair good team around me that he can be in the wings, and he's 18. They ain't going to let him off the leash straight away, and he will learn. He will learn along the way. I'll make sure I keep eye on him and this and that. But anyway, in the sparring on the Friday, he really, really performed to impress me, and so yeah. On the last round of his sparring, I looked up at him because he's 6'5", and I said, son, I'm pleased to be working with a good talent like yourself. And I never thought I was going to say that, to tell the truth, I'll be honest with you. But I've just left him again in the gym, and he's done it again. He's impressed me yet again. He had some rounds with Louis Edmondson again, along with James Hawley, and he's going to be a formidable force in the next few years. But give him. He's only 18, remember, so he's got a bit to learn, and he'll mature as well, thicken out. Probably end up light heavyweight. We'll see.
And you got Billy Joe Saunders, as you mentioned. You had a reunion, if you like, this year with him. Came off a good performance against Martin Murray. How do you assess that performance, and what do you want to see from Billy Joe in 2021?
Well, the performance with Martin Murray, both of us was a little bit disappointed, to be honest with you, after the fight. I know. And I don't know why. Maybe it could have been the atmosphere because it was in an empty arena, or whatever it was. But we was both a little bit flat after, and then we saw the fight in the dressing room. We had great feedback from people. There's no negative feedback, to the truth, And Billy Joe phoned me up a couple of days later, and he said, "What fight was we watching?" Do you know what I mean? And so yeah. But it was just, I guess it's a good thing in a way, because I look for perfection and flawless performances, and I just want the best, because how we prepare is we prepare to win in the most safest possible way, but we also we want to shine, you know what I mean? We want to shine and look good and do damage, so to speak, in the nicest possible way. But no, it's just, it was a strange old atmosphere fighting without fans, but we got the job done. When I look back at the replay, I was over the moon in Billy's performance. To tell you the truth, he went through the gears and he showed me something which I never saw before on the inside. You know how he fought on the inside, and he's strong now. He's a strong person now, and he can punch a bit too. I'll be honest with you, in the 10th round, I think I said, Billy, have a round off. That don't mean go asleep and have a late, you know, he's got to win the round, but have a breather. But when I looked at the replay, I see Jamie in the opposite corner, Jamie Moore, who trains Martin Murray. I see him have a little whisper to Martin, you know, before he went out, because Billy had a busy round. He bullied Martin that round, but I wanted to have a blow because I wanted Billy to finish a little bit fresh. You know what I mean? Anyway, but as he started to have a round off, Martin come on strong. So I went, no, change it. No, get back to bullying. Get back to dominating again. Dominate. But so within 20 seconds of that 10th round, I changed the tactics. And it was nice to see Billy switch to them tactics. And he dominated and finished well, which you know, he used to fade a little bit, but he don't now. So, which is good, and that comes through getting stronger with maturity. So I was happy about that. Good performance, good 12 rounds. He needed it after 13 months out of the ring.
And Eddie Hearn said recently he expected Billy's next fight to be against Demetrius Andrade, but then we saw Canelo beat Callum Smith and talk about fighting Billy or Caleb Plant next because he wants all the belts at super middle. Have you got a preference out of those two you'd like to see Billy fight next?
Well, Billy does his business with MTK and Matchroom USA in Eddie Hearn, and so I just do. I think you know, Billy's got the IQ. He's got a super genius of a boxing brain, and it ain't been stretched yet. It's not been stretched yet, and that's through his own fault or through inactivity or whatever it is. But when he's up against it, he turns it on. He can perform. Do you know what I mean? Just needs to be a bit more consistency when he's not in camp with his lifestyle. And I've seen him today, and I saw him a couple of days ago in Raynham in Origin Gym, and it's nice to see his face trim, yeah, not too big, and trim, and his body in good shape, and him to move around and tick over while we're waiting for a date and while we're waiting for the business to get sorted. Yeah.
Did you see Canelo against Callum Smith at the weekend?
Dan, I hate to say this, but I didn't, you know, and I said to someone just before you that you know, I've had some work done in my house, and we're getting there now, so I didn't have the television up and running, so to speak. Sound like Stone Age, don't I? But I did catch up on the social media, catch up with the highlights of the fight, and I was a little bit. I thought, you know, I haven't seen the fight, so I shouldn't really comment, but I'm gonna, on the basis of people feeding me this information on Callum Smith. He done a brilliant to do the 12 rounds, but I thought he would have been a bit more stronger in his long levers and you know, being long and strong. But the thing was, when I think about it, what's his name? Canelo. He's been boxing, been a fighter since, or a professional fighter since I think the age of 17, and he's going to be comfortable in the eye of the storm, which is inside them long levers. He's going to be nothing to him, and really it's the safest place for him to be when you think about it, in the eye of the storm. And if he's safe and confident and comfortable, he'll just, you know, he'll have a field day, so to speak, because he's such a formidable fighter, and a good fighter and a great fighter. So yeah, he
is
done
Billy
well.
Joe the man to beat him, Canelo?
Well, of course, I'm going to back my man Billy Joe Saunders, because of the fact that he raises his game to, you know, to the best what's in front of him. I mean, I look what he did to David Lemieux. and the way he performed, and the way he prepped for that fight, and Billy Joe is, like I say, he's got an IQ on the level of the Floyd Mayweathers, the Usyks and the people like that. They've got a boxing brain that you cannot teach. Yeah, it's just in your spirit. It's in your spirit, and boxing's been in Billy Joe Saunders' blood since knee high. So that gives him that advantage and the bestest possibility to beat Canelo Alvarez.
And what's been your personal highlight in boxing this year?
My personal highlight, I've had getting the job with two-weight world champion Billy Joe Saunders after splitting up with world number one Dillian Whyte. So we had a this virus started up, I think, in April, I believe, last year, right? This year, I should say.
Yeah, like March maybe.
Yeah. And so I was backwards and forwards to it was quite frightening at the time for me as a young father with a young son, and but I was in and out of Portugal, and I was in and out there a couple of times, but it kept getting changed due to what was going on. But I knew the fight wouldn't take place in July, and so I was backwards and forwards. It was a bit frustrating for me, backwards and forwards to Portugal training camp, and then obviously I didn't get the job with Dill, and then when Billy Joe touched base with me, it was that was probably the highlight of this year. It's got to be. Do you know what I mean? And because I like to work with, it's a pleasure to work with someone of the mindset of a great boxer like Billy Joe Saunders, because we understand each other, and we understand each other. We understand the business, the boxing, the styles and the things like that. So it's a pleasure to work with of someone who understands the business on the same level, of fighting and boxing.
Outside of your own group of fighters, who do you think's been the best British fighter this year?
Best British fighter this year. Got to be Tyson Fury, innit?
That's what a lot of people are saying.
Yeah. Credit to Tyson Fury. I mean, he went over there and shut him up, didn't he? Deontay Wilder.
Yeah.
In good fashion. So, yeah.
Good stuff. And what's the best fight you've seen this year?
Best fight I've seen this year. Well, I haven't seen Canelo Alvarez.
Yeah, we know that. Yeah.
So I don't think I can answer that. But there's been some good fights. And there's been some good fights considering, credit to the promoters that have been putting on these shows and under our circumstances, and it's been really, really good. So we can only, thank them for keeping our sport alive that we love so much. So credit to them. Your Bob Arons, Frank Warrens, and Eddie Hearns. Credit to all them guys. You know what I mean? Yeah.
What's your plans for Christmas?
Well, my plan for Christmas, I've just about got my living space ready for my young son. He's 6 in January, so we've got a space ready, and got a telly on the wall, so I will catch up with the boxing. And I've got the mother-in-law over, and yeah. So I'm gonna try and enjoy a nice few days, and my mother and father are around the corner. They're not far from me. I catch up with my brother and some cousins and some nieces and nephews. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to do all this, but I'm going to do it anyway.
I'm sure a lot of people are going to do similar stuff, to be honest.
Yeah, no, we just got to stay safe and listen to the rules and keep our distance. But it is serious out there. Got to touch base with a few people. When I was in Spain, I've got a friend of mine. Her mother got taken to hospital with a heart attack, and
Wow.
She come back. She got her off the COVID ward and got her off because she didn't have COVID. Got her off the COVID ward, got her home, and I've since learned she's died. So I've tried to chase her up today. It's very, very quite heartbreaking. She's quite close. So yeah, so it's I don't know what she's died of. So it's going to be it's not very nice for all of us this time of year. You know, I'm just saying we've got to think of the ones that are struggling and having tough times, and we've got to look out for one another more. Yeah, be kind, bit more kinder.
Well, I'll certainly take that on board. I'm sure a lot of people will watching out there. But have a lovely Christmas and
Lovely.
good
Thanks,
New Year,
man.
and we'll catch up in 2021.
Lovely, Dan. Good to touch base with you, sir.
As always, cheers, mate. Take care.
Take care, Daniel. Take care, my friend. Take care.